Hey guys, Penadaily here, and welcome back to Let's Play Earthbound. In the last episode, we, got the circus tent and the zombie paper, and now we're going to head off to the next part of Threed. And this is post-commentary, because when I recorded this, I somehow managed to not turn on Audacity, so I get attacked by a Smilin' Sam. Yeah, this is a Smilin' Sam. He's a palette swap of the, what is he called? Handsome Tom. Really, he's very, very powerful, as you can see, but he's not particularly complicated. Just hit him. He can use defense down, of course, but there we go. You see, we took him out right away. So that's nice. And let's see. So now we're going to continue on. There's a few things we can sort of catch. But first, of course, we're going to head down to the drugstore for a couple reasons. No, not the pizza parlor, the drugstore. Oh, right. I wanted to check how much, heal up Paula just in case, so. Use life up A, because Ness has plenty of PP. So, now we're in the drugstore, and we're going to get out $160. Because we want 2 refreshing herbs, just in case. And, yep, so. First, though, we accidentally talked to the red-haired guy who sells weapons and armor. We need to talk to the old person who sells medicine. And refreshing herb. Yes. Paula will carry 1. And then, let's see. I think I can't remember who I decided to have carry the other. I think it's Jeff. Jeff will carry the other. And there we're good. So we're going to head back out. Refreshing herbs are basically the item equivalent of healing alpha. They cure colds and feeling strange and crying uncontrollably. That's a status effect we'll get later. Now we're going to head up this way to the northeast of Threed. And check this. And it's a skip sandwich, which is nice. It's not the thing we really, really need, though. So keep heading up, and all the way up in the northeast corner, we will find what we need. And there, of course, is the mouse that loves you. Follow it up. Oh, and then this bulletin board greets you this evening. All is well. Good night. That's 5, 6, 5 if you do a syllable count. In the Japanese, it's actually a even in the Japanese, it's not quite a haiku. But we get a teddy bear. We're gonna need that. Or at least it's very, very useful where we're going. Some of those enemies hit hard. So, now that we've got the teddy bear, and a couple of refreshing herbs, most especially you want them because they cure poison. And yes, if we're very careful and go around the trees like this, the trash cans won't aggro on us. So we go down here. I kind of got hung up there, couldn't seem to move, even though it looked like I should have been able to, and was wondering if the photographer was going to come out of nowhere. But, nope. Back up. Not that those guys are impossible to fight, but, you don't want to come right down onto them. So, they're gone. This place is pretty linear. It's just called the Underground Passage. And, of course, there's a fly and the zombie dog. So, we fight the no-good fly and the zombie dog. So, Ness is going to, Ness is going to bash the zombie dog. Paula is going to use PSI Freeze Beta on the zombie dog. It's a more powerful freeze attack. The zombie dog, yeah, as you can see, the zombie dog, it bit the teddy bear 41, and it can poison you with its bite. Wow. I had forgotten that. Yeah, that's quite a crit on that fly. And Jeff is now level 15. Yay! So here we have a casket. It's basically the equivalent in this area of a present. A Skip Sandwich DX. It gives you speed for 20 seconds rather than, I think, 10, which regular Skip Sandwiches give you. So, yeah. And then we come to this casket. This one you really want to open. There is a silver bracelet inside. Paula is going to equip that, because it's much better defense than the copper one she's got. So, alright. So, yes. We head through here, up these stairs, and then go through here, and... Oh, you've gotta be shitting me. Yeah, that was my reaction at the time. So this is these two guys in the front are zombie possessors. They're kind of nasty. They can possess you, which basically they inflict... It is a status ailment. They basically... There's a little ghost that flies around your head, and it inflicts damage on you, like 4 PP or 4 HP a turn. Or it'll suddenly paralyze you. So, yeah. It's the Japanese idea of possession, where you're basically just being followed by a nasty influence rather than actually taken over by the ghost. So Ness is going to bash Zombie Possessor A. Paula is going to use Freeze Beta on Zombie Possessor B, and Jeff is just going to shoot Zombie Possessor A. Luckily, teddy bears cannot be possessed. And also, luckily, Freeze Beta does a hell of a lot of damage. Laughing hysterically, of course, is one of those waste a turn attacks. So now, just bash the urban zombie. Paula can, you know... I was checking my notes here to see what Paula should do. Because sometimes you want to use PSI, and sometimes you want to bash. But... yeah, and the teddy bear, became a pile of fluff. Sadly, yeah, it's only got about 100 HP. So, as you can see, it took way more damage than it was really able to. And hey! And the zombie left us a hamburger. I'm not sure that's really appetizing, but hey. Paula and Jeff leveled up. So that's pretty nice. So, here we go. Now, this guy is a mini-boss. So, I want to check and make sure we have everything we need, and check our status. As you can see, nobody needs any healing, so it's time just to fight this guy. Now, what I probably should have gotten the broken iron from the Brick Roads dungeon. Jeff can rebuild it into something called the slime generator, and this guy is, vulnerable to the slime generator. Basically, it freezes an enemy, but a lot of enemies aren't really vulnerable to it, and so I really didn't think it was worth the inventory space. I still don't really. I mean, it would have been useful here, but York, since you had Fly Honey, I considered you a friend, but actually you're just a commoner. I am the mortal enemy of your kind. Yeah. The mini barf attacked. Ugh. So, yes. Ness, just bash him. Paula should use PSI. She really ought to use Fire Beta, but I didn't have it at this point, so. And Jeff should use his bottle rockets. Not the big bottle rocket. Save that for later. But regular bottle rockets. Yeah, he can spit out a sticky mucus, which makes Ness unable to move, or anybody unable to move. So just do the same thing again. Goods. Yep, another bottle rocket. Yep, Paula can't move, but she'd already attacked him, so, Okay, and then Paula can't move, so she can't bash. So it's replaced by do nothing. But she can still use PSI. So, yeah. And Jeff, now just have Jeff shoot, obviously. Now, he just sent out a blast of stinky breath. So now Ness is going to use PSI Rockin' Alpha, because you don't have to see to hit with that. Paula will continue with PSI Fire Alpha, and Jeff is just going to defend. I thought about having him shoot, but I'm not sure if he can hit his allies when he's crying uncontrollably. Not that it mattered. So, you know, and that goes away at the end of the battle. So Nessa is now 22 and got PSI Rockin' Beta, which is nice. And now Paula and Jeff also leveled up. I wanted to get your fly honey and gulp it down. Master Belch and I love fly honey. Yorg, yorg. Well, that was gross. And now we are in a new area. This is called Grapefruit Falls. You must have a long, tough road ahead of you, do you not? No, there is no need to explain. I already know. You must be hungry. This is good timing for you. I happen to be carrying something to eat. Yeah, but we don't have any money. Please, by all means, come again. Ah, I just remembered. There's a village with many interesting people just ahead. You should go there and visit. I heard that the name of the village is Saturn Valley, but it cannot be found on any maps. And a butterfly, so we check our status. But actually, nobody took any damage in that fight. So we're just going to restore our PP. Because, you know, we did use a lot of PSI. So that's nice. And here we have our first new enemy for this area. It is the Armored Frog. It is armored. You want to be careful. Ness can bash it just fine. It is armored, though, so you want to be careful. Because you can't... Yeah, Paula should use Freeze Alpha on it. Jeff should, of course, just shoot it. Yeah, Paula can do a lot of damage. Don't have her attack physically. I make that mistake later. So, we just keep heading up through Grapefruit Falls. There's another armored frog. But, you know, I'm cutting out battles with anything you've seen before. You know the drill. So, and there we have a present. So, we get a bomb inside. Jeff takes it, which is good because Jeff is the one who can use it. So, follow along further. At least the water here is blue and not that weird purple it was in Peaceful Rest Valley. Keep going, keep going. Grapefruit Falls is a long, linear place. And there's a protein drink inside. That's a health thing. It's not too bad. Okay, we want to go in here. And we meet an enemy we will see entirely too much of. The Violent Roach. I hate cockroaches. I had a really awful experience with them through no fault of my landlord's. When I first moved into the apartment building that I would spend the next, 13 years in, there was a cockroach infestation. I mean, they did everything right, but oh god, I have been paranoid about these little assholes ever since. So, yeah, just have everybody attack it. It's, it can dodge, but you don't have to use PSI on it or anything. So, and there we go. The Violent Roach became tame. And Jeff leveled up, which is nice. So, we follow along, and we go in that little side cave, and we find a present. There is a bottle rocket inside. Oh, good. Those are very nice for Jeff. He can do a lot of damage with them. And another Violent Roach. I can't believe I turned my back to that roach. So, yes, the Violent Roach leaped forward and spread its wings. This is another thing they can do. They can paralyze you with that movement. So then you just, attack them the usual way. And they can knit their brow, which just wastes the turn. So, yeah. They also attack with a violent odor, which lowers your offense. But I didn't think that was really important enough to show. So, we keep going. And more cave. And now we are in a new area. And you might notice that the music here is a bit funky. Yeah. We feel groove. Hi-ho, me Mr. Saturn. This place, all are Mr. Saturn. Yes, they are. And they're a little strange. This is the other reason this game is famous for being weird. Do you want slumber? And Kale. Yeah. These guys are a little strange. In this game, the font's just something custom that the font designers worked up. And now we're going to call Dad and save, because after we healed and went through all of that, you kind of, fought that mini barf. That's important. But yeah, in the original Japanese, the kana used to write these guys is based off of Itoi's daughter's handwriting at the time. She wasn't very old. So if we come in here, this house is a different color. I'm Dr. Saturn Zoom, and I can repair your body. Boing! Do you want me to operate on you? Ding! Yeah, this... Kale, if you alright, that's great. Zoomer! Yeah, this guy's the doctor. Status ailments. This is basically the hospital. Once upon a time, we were many, many. Every day, slowly or less. Why? Boing! And... yes, there's a rust promoter inside. That's good against mechanical enemies. It'll be useful later. So, head up here. We look like same. I give you special thing. Not now, Zoom. I give you on the way back. Boing. Bye. Yeah, and he'll give you a pretty nice thing eventually. And I had to check and make sure. No, it's not that I don't have any spaces in my inventory. I just haven't triggered it. Scary guy, boing. Grapefruit Falls. Scary, sick, barfy. Go and la la la. Yeah. Base. Secret. Base behind Grapefruit Falls. Password? I tell. Belchman say. Say password. Then stand still. Wait for 3 minutes. And then, of course, you hear the... So, boing, you have $380. We trade. Secret herb. So, boing, you have $1780. We trade. Horn of Life, which is like cup of noodles. It's a life up. Now, you have to talk to that one guy who tells you the password. Otherwise, you won't get the prompt to say the password. And you'll hear the spooky jingle, which tells you you've just done a plot important thing. When we come in here, and this is the shop. That is an ATM. In the Japanese, where those two circle eye things are, that actually says CD. It means cash dispenser, and I did not mean to leave. Because, Japanese cash dispenser. But of course, that doesn't make any sense to Americans. Hi, you buying? You can sell too. I, Mr. Saturn Boing, can do all for you. What you want, Zoom? What you buying? What are you buying, stranger? I'm sorry, I had to. Okay, so we've got a lot of stuff. And at this point I was doing math, trying to figure out how much I was going to have to take out of the ATM. Because we're going to want a bionic slingshot for Paula, great charms for Ness and Jeff, silver bracelets for Ness and Jeff, and a red ribbon for Paula. Pardon me. So, so I was figuring, we got $1,200 for the silver bracelets, plus $800 for the two great charms, that's $2,000, plus $450 for the bionic slingshot, $2,450, and then the red ribbon, which is actually like $2,620. It's really like $2,700. Roughly is what we're gonna need, $2,700. So, after, running all that math through and realizing I don't have enough item slots, is there anything else? Zoom. Else need? Thank you. Boing. Yeah, what we need to do is de-equip some of our current stuff and sell it off so we have enough item slots. So, first, we're going to... I forgot that we needed to get Nessa's copper bracelet. But Paula, we're going to get rid of her fry pan and her ribbon. I said we're going to get rid of her ribbon. None. Good. And then we got Jeff. We're going to get rid of his copper bracelet. Which is good. And then Ness, we're going to get rid of his copper bracelet. So, yes. And once all that's been de-equipped, we can sell it back to Mr. Saturn. Hi, you come buying? Yeah. So, we're going to sell. You sell me things at me, boing? So, yes. We are going to sell the copper bracelet. The most us pay is 174. That's cool. Oh, you think. Is there anything else we need? Yes. So, yeah, now we're going to sell Paula's stuff. Yeah, this takes a little while, but you know, Mr. Saturns are fun. So, ribbon. Yep. And she has, of course, a copper bracelet that, you know, we want to get rid of too, that we had originally equipped because of her, or we de-equipped because of the silver bracelet. So, yeah. So we sell him that too. And yes. And we're not buying yet. Oy. Some of these menus are a little annoying. So now, of course, we're going to sell her fry pan. I probably should have kept it, but, you know, the slingshot, it is a pretty good high attack thing, but it does miss a lot. Still, it's enough of an attack thing, and Paula is a PSI user more than anything. So it's probably okay. So now, copper bracelet, and yes, and we have over 600 bucks. So that's nice. We only need to get out another 2,000 and we're fine. Oh, and this guy is the herb drug store person. See, you can get insecticide spray, stag beetles. I'm not sure they do anything. You can get, of course, refreshing herb and the secret herb, which are basically heal alpha and heal beta, respectively, and peanut cheese bars, which are actually a pretty good food healing item. I think we have enough food healing, but, you know. So, yep, automatic teller. We're going to take 2,000 out. And, yeah, we've still got a pretty good amount of money here. We're about to change that. You know, taking 2,000 bucks out, but we'll make more. As long as you're careful. So, yeah. So now we talk, you know, to this guy again, and then we get to go through all the buying. So, a bionic slingshot, and we're going to give that to Paula. And yes, we want to equip it. And yes, we want to buy a great charm for Ness. So, yep. And unfortunately, that fills up Ness's inventory. This is why people do the inventory tricks, like managing, so like not keeping the town map, or you know, getting the sound stone sent to Tracy by filling up your inventory with cookies, because it can be a real pain. So a silver bracelet. Now Ness's inventory is full, so we'll have to come back, but for now we'll buy it for Jeff. So, you know, that ups his defense fairly nicely. And buy a red ribbon for Paula. Because she's got, you know, a thing. I probably ought to send off the Franklin badge for a while, but yeah, who knows. Okay, so now I'm going to, let's see. What did I... Oh, yeah, I'm going to give the skip sandwich to Jeff. Because he's got one more slot in his inventory than Paula does right now. And now we're going to buy another silver bracelet for Ness. Yes, yes. And yes, equip it. And now we have a lot of defense, which is going to be rather useful. So, come out the door. And now we can go around and see a few other things. Like, there's a Mr. Saturn just at the top of that ladder. Can't get up here. 3 is zombie full. I saw. Bad stink behind falls. Zoom! Yeah. Yeah, lots of friends taken behind falls. Why? Why? Boing. Yeah, I suppose, you know, if you hate the Mr. Saturn voice, I'm sorry. Don't worry, there aren't too many Mr. Saturns in the game, but I just enjoy, and I won't do it for, anything. Yeah, you have to wait until basically you've beaten this next area and are on your way to the third sanctuary, I believe. Then he will give you a thing. And it is a very good thing. So, we're, at this point we're about 25 minutes in. I decided we should at least maybe head up and see what we could do against the bad guys. And promptly ran into a violent roach. We run into a lot of violent roaches. And run into another violent roach. And run into another violent roach. Yeah, I mean, I cut it out because it's the same fight over and over again. Just roach after roach after roach. And then this happens. So, the armored frog and its cohorts. So, I had Ness Bash. I was looking at things to do to the Antoids. I screwed up a little here. For one thing, I sort of forgot, that, armored frogs don't take a lot of physical damage. Well, I didn't realize, I guess Paula is stronger than my notes had expected. So, well, you'll see. With Paula, I decided to use Fire Beta. Unlike Freeze Beta, Fire Beta attacks a row of foes. And it's supposed to just weaken them, but, she's a little stronger than intended. So, Jeff was going to use the insecticide spray, which attacks all insectoid enemies. Unfortunately, they're all dead, and it doesn't work on the armored frog. So now, I just start attacking the armored frog. Unfortunately, Paula and Jeff can't do a lot of damage to the armored frog. At which I completely had forgotten that Paula needs to, just freeze the frog. So, we're gonna be here for a little while. Oh, and Ness suddenly thought about his mom. Ness is homesick. That is a Ness-only status ailment, and it makes you miss turns. And I don't think it screws up your accuracy or your power. So I had decided to have Ness use PSI on the armored frog. I don't know why. Mostly because I forgot. And it just doesn't really do that much damage, unfortunately. Ugh. This fight isn't painful, it's just long and annoying. So, just trying to kill this stupid frog. Let's see, what did I wind up doing? I mean, yeah, at this point I was like, crap, I have to go back and heal anyway, and the episode's almost over. So who cares how much PSI I use? And this is where I remembered to have Paula use Freeze Alpha on the stupid frog. Yeah. Ugh. But hey, Ness went up to level 23. At this point, there was no point, no point continuing, so I'm just gonna go. I did wind up, healing, because again, I'm gonna go stay the night at the Saturn. It's not like it costs any money. And better, not risk Paula or Jeff dying due to a violent roach. So, which, yes, that's exactly what we're gonna get, more roaches. So we kill this guy and just move right along. Yeah, the only way to deal with being homesick is you call your mother. Now, the thing is that calling your mother regularly will not prevent homesickness. Yep, see there? Homesick. So, when you develop it, and you won't know you've got it really until you start missing turns in battle, then you go call your mother. And that is how you deal with homesickness. It's interesting, but it can be a real pain in the neck. Hello, Ness. What's wrong? You sound so sad. Are you homesick? Well, I knew there would be days like this. It must make you feel better listening to your mom's sweet voice. So do you feel any better? Well, I better get going. I'm in the middle of my ironing. Bye. Ness got over being homesick because he remembered how weird his parents are and that maybe he doesn't mind being out in the world so much. No, that's not. So, yes, now we slumber, restore our HP and PP, and, yep, call Dad. So, yeah, we got some money from, fighting all those roaches. And so now we just need to record. Dear old Dad is hitting the hay for the night. Record at the end of this point. Good night, sleep tight. We're a great team. Yada yada. Alright, so thank you guys for joining me for Let's Play. Thank you guys for joining me for Let's Play Earthbound. And in the next episode, we will continue on to see if we can get behind Grapefruit Falls and deal with whatever is taking away the Mr. Saturns. So, you guys have a great evening, and I will see you next time. Good night.